Miguel's mother, Maria, was the heart of that home. She worked long hours washing clothes for other families, cooking when she could, and smiling even when her body was tired. She was gentle, soft-spoken, and deeply loving. But behind her warm smile was a sickness she tried to hide. For months, Maria had been growing weaker. She lost weight. She coughed through the night. She would pause to catch her breath after just a few steps. Doctors were expensive, and the family had little money. By the time they finally took her to a clinic, the news was devastating. Maria was dying. The illness had spread too far. The doctor spoke carefully, choosing words that would not shatter hope completely, but the meaning was clear. There was nothing more they could do. She had days, maybe weeks. When Miguel heard the word dying, he did not fully understand it, but he understood fear. He understood that his mother might not wake up one day. And that thought broke something deep inside him. At night, Miguel would sit beside her bed, holding her hand, listening to her breathing grow weaker. Sometimes she would smile at him and tell him stories from her childhood. Sometimes she would close her eyes, too tired to speak. Miguel was afraid of the silence. He was afraid that if things became too quiet, it meant she was slipping away. One evening, as the sun faded and the room filled with shadows, Maria began struggling to breathe. Each breath looked painful. Panic filled the small house. Neighbors gathered outside. Someone ran to call a nurse. Miguel stood frozen, watching his mother fight for air. Tears streamed down his face, but no sound came out. He felt helpless, small, useless. And then, without thinking, he did the only thing he knew how to do. He sang. Miguel had always loved to sing. His mother used to hum songs while working, and Miguel would copy her. He sang while walking to school, while playing outside, while helping around the house. Singing was his comfort. So that night, with his mother slipping away, he began to sing softly. His voice shook at first, cracked by fear and tears. But as he continued, something changed. He sang a simple song, one his mother used to sing to him when he was younger. It was not perfect. It was not polished. But it was filled with love. Every word came from his heart. As his voice filled the room, something incredible happened. Maria's breathing began to slow. Her chest stopped fighting so hard. Her eyes fluttered open. She looked at Miguel. Weakly, she squeezed his hand. The room fell silent except for the boy's voice. Neighbors who had been crying froze in disbelief. The nurse, who had just arrived, stopped moving. It was as if time itself had paused to listen. Maria took a deeper breath. Then another. Color slowly returned to her face. It was not a full recovery. It was not magic in the way movies show it. But it was enough. Enough to pull her back from the edge. Enough to give her more time. That night, Maria did not die. Word spread quickly through the neighborhood. People whispered about the boy who sang his mother back to life. Some called it a miracle. Some called it coincidence. Some said it was the power of love. Miguel did not care what it was called. All he knew was that his mother was still there when he woke up the next morning. Maria lived. She remained weak for a long time, but she lived long enough to see Miguel grow. She lived long enough to watch him turn 9, then 10, then 12. She lived long enough to hear him sing at school events, in church, in small local gatherings. People would cry when he sang. They said his voice carried pain, hope, and truth. Maria would sit in the front row whenever she could, smiling through tears, knowing she was listening because of that one song. But sickness never truly left her. It waited quietly. And when Miguel was 15, it returned with cruelty. This time, there were no miracles. Maria passed away peacefully, holding Miguel's hand, whispering how proud she was of him. Miguel sang to her again that night, through tears and broken breaths. But this time, the song did not bring her back. 15 years passed. Miguel grew into a man. Life was not easy. Losing his mother left a hole that never fully healed. He worked different jobs, helped where he could, and kept singing, though not as often. Singing reminded him of both love and loss. It reminded him of that night. Some days, the memory felt warm. Other days, it felt like a wound reopening. One day, Miguel was invited to perform at a small community event. The theme was stories of hope. Someone had heard about his childhood, about the night he sang for his dying mother. They asked him to share his story and sing the same song again. At first, Miguel refused. He said he could not do it. The song was too painful. But after days of thinking, he agreed. On the night of the event, the room was full. Not a large crowd, but enough. Families, elders, children, all waiting. Miguel stepped onto the small stage. The lights felt too bright. His hands shook. He took a deep breath and began to speak. He told them about his mother. About poverty. About fear. About the night he sang because he had nothing else to give. His voice trembled as he spoke. Many in the audience were already crying. Then he said he would sing the song again. The same song. The one that once saved her. Miguel closed his eyes and started to sing. But something was different. His voice was older now, deeper, technically better. But the innocence was gone. The desperation of a child begging the universe was gone. The sound filled the room, but it did not carry the same energy. Miguel felt it immediately. His chest tightened. His throat closed. Memories crashed over him like waves. Halfway through the song, his voice broke. He stopped singing. Silence filled the room. Miguel covered his face and cried. Not softly. Not quietly. He cried the way he never allowed himself to cry before. 15 years of pain poured out in that moment. He realized then that he could never sing that song the same way again. Because the power of that song was not in the melody. It was in the moment. In a child's pure love. In a heart that did not know loss yet. Miguel looked up at the audience, expecting disappointment. Instead, he saw understanding. People stood up, one by one, and applauded. Not because he finished the song, but because he was real. Because he showed them something true. That night, Miguel learned something important. He learned that miracles are not meant to be repeated on command. They happen when hearts collide with moments. He learned that saving someone once does not mean you can save them forever. And he learned that love does not end when life does. Today, Miguel still sings. Not that song. But others. Songs about hope, about healing, about letting go. He sings for people who are hurting. He sings for children who feel powerless. He sings for mothers who are tired but strong. And in every note, there is a piece of that 8-year-old boy who once stood beside a bed and refused to let go. This story is not about bringing someone back from death. It is about presence. About doing what you can with what you have. Sometimes all you have is your voice. Sometimes all you have is love. And sometimes, that is enough to change everything, even if only for a moment. If this story touched your heart, take a moment to reflect on the people you love. Tell them how much they mean to you. Sing for them, in whatever way you can. Because you never know which moment will become the one you carry with you forever. Thank you for listening. Stay kind. Stay human. And never underestimate the power of love.